Hey everybody. I know it can get either tricky to come up with ways to start a painting or you just get burned out of the same old way that you've been used to. So I thought I would shake things up today and give you a new opportunity to start with Neocolor crayons. I'm using the water-soluble Neocolor II today, and I haven't used them for a while, and I rarely use them to start paintings, quite frankly. So did something different today. I hope you enjoy it. Let me know what you think. Bye. And here we are, my sketchbook, and you'll notice to the left I have my giant Neocolor II crayon collection there. This was back in the glory days of Blick when they used to have a 40% off one item coupon. And when I was working my corporate job that I was not at all personally fulfilled with, I let myself or gave myself permission to buy any art supplies I wanted. So anytime there was a 40% off coupon, I would go and buy something that either I liked and had a little bit of that was expensive or something I'd never used before. So this is one of those purchases. I don't know how much it was, but definitely in the hundreds. I think it might have been $160, could have been more. I'm not sure. Way too much for crayons, probably, but 40% off of that is a big savings. So they don't do those 40% off coupons anymore, unfortunately. But I had a lot of fun with it while they did and while I was working and had extra income. Back in the glory days before children and husbands, and I only had to support myself. Anywho, I'm already basically filling up these pages with Neocolor II crayons, and I'm purposely using Neocolor II because I'm going to paint on top of these and I want the color to bleed through. So this is my experiment for today. I really wanted to see what it would look like if I color on top or paint on top of these colors. So I'm starting off with a very creamy white, and I'm just using creamy white. I'm working to color up the entire thing. I'm fine with letting the colors blend together here and there. I'm intentionally going to the warm colors first, then the cool colors, just so it doesn't all turn to mud. And it's a very subdued kind of rainbow color, loosely landscape, abstract landscape. Scratching down with the back of an old paintbrush to get some more of the pure color from the crayons. And I'm just making different patterns with different marks, scratching them all in. Just making it up as I went along, really unsure of how it was going to turn out, thus the experiment. So that was just plain white paint. Because that was very kind of made everything very pastel, I thought I would try the next page to use a lot of gloss medium and just a little bit of white. So to put a veil over it, but a very thin veil, so that the colors were a bit more intense. It was also really fun, you guys, just to start off and have no pressure whatsoever, because all I was trying to do with the crayons was fill the page with color. And the next step with the painting, all I was trying to do was paint over the entire thing with either the mixture of medium and white or just white on the right side. So far, very little thinking went into this. So if you're having a day that you just can't use your brain, this is a good exercise to start with. And it still looks pretty cool, right? Zero thought went into this, and you still have something. I'm a big fan of having something that you can look at that's tangible and you can hold in your hand at the end of the day. It always makes my days better when I can look at something and say, hey, that didn't exist before and I still made it. Because these ended up so subtle, I wanted to spice them up. So I got out my collage paper, starting with some tissue paper. And I'm just playing around to see what I like. kind of auditioning pieces as I go. This is the first time I'm actually making, I would call them legit design decisions. I suppose choosing where to put the colors was also a design decision, but this one feels like there's a little bit more pressure behind it because now I'm wanting things to look good. Not over pressure, not too much pressure, but I am, looking aesthetically to see what I want to put where. The crayons was a much more automatic feeling. Because I have all the color in the background, I have something to react to. One thing I did notice though, on the right side, because the colors were so subdued with the white, I had a harder time reacting to it. If I were to start the project over again, I would probably make some dramatic marks somehow before I started adding collage. Or just started with a bigger piece of collage and then built off of that. I was making very small changes and it didn't set me up as well for the next move because the moves I made were so small. On the left side, having that bigger scalloped piece initially started me off stronger. Again, this is all personal preference. This is just for me in this situation. And I offer these to you guys as ideas for projects, things that you can use to jumpstart your creative mindset that day. You can certainly, obviously, use anything that you have that you enjoy. Don't stick to black and white collage if you like color. Don't stick with collage at all if you just want to paint. Use your colors. Use a whole bunch of greens. Use a whole bunch of browns. Use a whole bunch of any color that you like and any supplies that you like. These are just meant to be, I guess, little exercises to get you unstuck if you're unsure of what to do, but you want to do something. My goal isn't to teach you what I do so that you can make paintings like me necessarily. My goal is to show you that there are different ways to do things, and you can pick and choose. If there's something that you enjoy or something that you like, then take that small piece and add it to your process and see what you think of it. Our best artwork comes when we're fully ourselves. So if something feels like you, by all means, try it in your artwork and see what it brings. Or use it as an experiment to see what might feel better or might feel good to you. But if you're trying to make art look like my art, I don't think it's ever going to feel really good to you because I think, right, you're just not me, just like I'm not you. So if I spent my time trying to draw like you or create like you, it wouldn't feel as good to me because I'd be trying and I guess kind of pretending, right? I'd be trying on your style or your process. So I encourage you to try on different things to see how they feel. And if it feels good or parts of it feel good, then adopt those parts into your process. Okay, I think I've made my point. Getting off my soapbox now. I used way too many words to say that. As I'm adding more and more, I see the piece on the left starting to develop into something that's more interesting. The piece on the right, I wasn't sure what to do with the top because everything was so muted. I really like the scrap I added horizontally across the bottom. and that dark black piece with the two white squiggles on the far left. Sorry, far right. So I liked those additions. Wasn't really sure what to do. I added some quinacridone gold to warm things up a bit. Just bring out some of the color. It was very interesting to me because I joke that I use rainbow colors, and I do love a good rainbow, don't get me wrong, but this is even more rainbow than I typically use. Typically I'll leave at least one or two colors out of the rainbow, just for fun. I don't really know why. And I'm going in with some darker blues just to pump up the value. I did it a tiny bit on the right side, but I really let the black be the dark value on the right side. And I did add that really dark blue on the top. And actually the red is brighter on the left as well. The painting on the left. Red is a darker value than you'd think if you change this to black and white. A good red will look like a very dark gray or a black. So this is where I ended up for the most part. And I don't know that these are done, but it's certainly a much more interesting start than I would have had otherwise. So I would encourage you to play around, try something different. If you like water-soluble things, maybe try this on, see what it feels like. Try it with a different color than white. Add a different color on top of your crayons. Whatever you do, let me know what you do. Let me know what you think. And if you have any other topics that you're interested in learning more about, let me know in the comments, and I will see what I can do about making a video about it. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Thanks for watching. Bye.